Okay, you're on.
Wreath making. They come in all sizes, you know. These are the flat ones. They're just as good. I prefer the ones with shaped more like a bowl. That gives your wreath depth, so you get more of that sort of effect. Make your own. This is sort of wire you want to use. It's quite stiff and thick. If you look at it casually, it's your garden wire. So it's quite thick, and it's galvanised aluminium, and it's basically stuff they used to make fences out of. Dirt cheap. And when you make your own, you simply get the size of the wreath you want. This is the advantage of making your own. You can make the wreath big or small as you like. And you should make your circle, twist the wires round so you have a circle. If you're going to do a 3-foot monster like the one I did earlier, you simply get a bit of twigs. For example, strip them. It's useful to have what I call bumpy twigs, you know, like these little ridges on them, so the wire has something to hold on to, it doesn't slip around. I'm only going to do a very rough one of this. And you just literally bind the wire round, and you keep doing that until you've got a really thick, solid, it could be 2 or 3 twigs deep, doesn't matter, it depends on how big your wreath is. For the wreath that was 3 feet, which is about that big, I just did that and just twisted this heavy wire around them all the way around. It's up to you. How you put the trees on, I'm using Leylandi because what we've got here, and it's floppy and it's nice. A lot of people use the thick pine, you know, the ones that are more like Christmas tree, the Norwegian spruce or fir or something like that. If you come from Norway, there's lots of them. You just trim off bits about so long. They don't have to be all the same, so that's nice when they're all the same. Not all the same, I mean. And you just cut. I've chosen these branches because they're quite twiggy, they've got lots of bits coming out of them. They don't have to be all the same length, it's nice to have a variation in length. It adds more interest to the end result. There you go. That's a nice smelly bonfire down there. You can use this wire, which is the stuff that you get for your kitchen, the flat sort of freezer bag tying stuff. I prefer using the garden wire because you're really pulling on it with your hand, and the plastic cover is more gentle on your hand. So you just get a not too long piece you're going to add to it. Now, with the wreath, it's 6 1/2 dozen the other. I personally prefer starting on the inner circle. I just find it easier. You find your way. Also, if you're right-handed, when you gather you just gather a bunch of 2, depending on your fur, there's sometimes 2 bits, sometimes 5 bits. With a bunch just like that, not much more, just very rough and ready. Secure your wire to the wreath frame on one end. It doesn't slip around. Now if you're right-handed, you do it like that. That way, one right hand, bunch on the left. If you're left-handed, obviously it's the other way round. But I'm right-handed, so you can do it this way. Now you have to remember you're doing it this way. So you bring the bunch just slightly underneath the main ring wire. And you just go like this and bring it up and over a couple of times. That's all you have to do, about 3 times. That's all you have to do, but really secure, tight. Then you get your next bunch. Just like that's only 3 pieces because the pieces are bigger. And you just bring it up by, depends, but you normally run about an inch or so. And then you will secure, wrap them around both bunches before you bring it over to wrap the singular bunch a couple of times. But pulling it really tight each time. And that's how you make a wreath. You just carry on and on and on, doing the same thing. I'll finish this one, then I'll show you the front of the wreath. But because this is the inside, you want the bunches come out like this, and on the outside you bring them around this way, but I'll show you that later. Just make sure you've got each bunch secure before you... So can you see that's the beginning of your wreath?